Welcome to episode number 7 of the Ironworks Underground podcast. We're back with Yared for a second go-around at this. Maybe it's our third go-around. Second go-around of this editing technology fiasco that we've had. We're back in the gym office and not in the field house to avoid maybe some heater sound in the background. I don't know what was wrong last time, but welcome, Yared.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And always Josh is here as well.
Always here. Always.
So, what's our question of the week?
Well, since we got Yared here, we're going to do an animal-based question. I'm going to learn why that's a Yared-based question a little bit later. But what animal would you choose to have to wake up and fight every morning?
Oh, God.
To survive. Like, it's every morning you wake up, either you got to kill this animal or it kills you and you're done.
A bunny.
A bunny? Okay.
I mean, it's kind of fucked up because bunnies are like super nice and soft and fuzzy, but I feel like they're really easy to. Like,
So I thought this would get boring, so I added a little caveat. It has to weigh more than 50% of your weight.
oh
God.
fuck!
Well, I guess I take sloths out of the question.
So a sloth. I don't know. How big is a sloth, though?
Bro, the thing has to be 120 pounds.
That's a big animal. That's
I'll fight a panda.
Really? Dude, jaws on a panda are insane. Yeah, sloths are 17 pounds. That blew my mind.
Yeah.
Sloths are 17 pounds.
Yeah.
They're
Okay, well,
not that big.
I guess. Well, how much does a panda weigh? What about a koala bear?
Hundreds of pounds, I think.
What about a koala bear?
Or claws like pockets. That's like, you ever, like, if you can pick up a
Can
koala,
I choose a
like it's not.
fictional character?
No, that wouldn't make
I was
sense.
thinking the little like panda-looking things from Star Wars. I forget the name of them.
Koala's 33 pounds.
A koala's only 33 pounds.
I'm learning something new every time.
Jesus, dude.
Koalas are deadly. Like, they got claws, though.
Pandas are 150 to 280.
All right, I'll fight a
A
panda.
baby panda?
I'll fight a baby panda.
That's a safe choice.
You think so?
Dude,
feel like that's strong as
I
shit.
feel like I could like box my way out of that. Jump on it and choke it out.
Yeah, I'm
While it's sitting there like,
Man, I'm just stretching right because, like, do you want the challenge? Because it's every day. It's like you want it to be easy. So it's like you're trying to find
Exactly, yeah.
a big animal that sounds terrible, but
I
pretty
just
easy
don't
to
know,
take
what
out.
would you fight? Like a German Shepherd? Like, would you fight Strider next door? Because that thing's 120 pounds.
No.
I
mean,
I do too. I'm just saying, like, something that size. Like, a coyote. Coyotes are pretty fucking big. Wolves.
I mean, honestly, dogs wouldn't be the worst one, I think.
Yeah, but, like, you get connected to a dog so quick.
Yeah, it should be terrible.
Like, you see a video of something, like, sad happening to a dog, and you, like, feel for it. So you don't want to fight it.
If I see teeth snarled in my direction, it's like, it's like, all
Yeah,
right.
but, like, at the same time, like,
What about like a pig?
dude,
No,
pigs are fucking
You can't kill a
angry
pig?
looking.
No?
they strong.
Do you, okay,
First
wait,
experience.
back up. Do we have weapons, or are we fighting only hands?
Oh. I mean, what?
Okay, what if I have a pocket knife? Does that count?
Anything you would have in your bedroom right now.
Okay, pocket knife.
Yeah, that's what I have.
Okay, that's done. Panda, bro.
No, so
Throw a controller at it.
right here.
Strangle it with the cord.
Man, 100. I'm trying to think.
Pigs are 300 to 700 pounds.
Yeah, we're not fucking with the
And they're
pig, bro.
strong. Like, so I used to work with pigs, and it's like I remember they used to get. I got locked into the pig pen, and they all just kind of gathered on me, and like they're strong enough to just throw your foot up in the air. It's like I'm a fairly strong dude, and it's like I was just high stepping the whole time because they just got underneath with their nose and like kind of dug you up and flung you up every time. They're strong. I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to fight that.
Fuck that.
No. But if it's like a little 100-pound pig, that wouldn't be too bad.
Like a little baby pig?
Yeah.
Like Charlotte's Web-sized pig?
Well, that's like 30.
Yeah,
It's
it's 30 pounds.
like we gotta work.
Weight limits here, man. 120
Well,
plus.
that's why I'm still going with the panda, bro. If I can stab a panda
Yeah.
with my
Yeah,
body,
that's fair.
it's dead. Just one stab. That's it.
I was thinking like a big fish.
Well, that's
That
not
thing's
fair.
fucked
You
from
pull it
the
out of the
start.
water and it's done.
Exactly.
But also, like, why are you in the water? Why are you waking up in water?
No. I'm imagining I wake up, boom, it appears.
Yeah, you wake up
You're
and
like
just
falling
flopping
in
at it.
water everywhere. Just pop down, boom, boom.
It's like a-
done.
like a big
Cut
puff.
off the
Oh
red.
God.
Oh, that's
Well, I mean, what kind of fish? Like a fucking big ass tuna?
Yeah, probably. Tunas can vary. You know, from like
Like a yellowfin,
up to 800
like
pounds.
tuna?
That's a lot of muscle. I feel like you get smacked around a little.
Yeah, what if it's like flopping around and you go to hit its tail?
I'm not ready one day.
you
It
catch-
actually knocks me out, kills me.
I'm
That'd be
telling you,
crazy.
man, it's just one wrong tail. That'll just put you out.
Yeah, I think their skin is super like easy to penetrate with the blade. You know, it shouldn't be too hard.
Right. That's fair. That's
Just
fair.
put a hook in its mouth and it's done. Like you're fishing.
Yeah.
I also have a fish dangling by me all the time.
As a reminder to stay strong. Yeah. No,
I don't know.
Tuna,
I'm sticking with
tuna's
the
tough.
panda. I'm
Panda?
dead
No,
set
wait,
on
what
the-
did you say? What's yours?
Tuna? It's hard. Anything over 100 pounds is just automatically strong. But I think something with like 4 legs, so I can just get on top of it, like a coyote, or I think a coyote would be good.
What are you gonna ride it around like a fucking horse?
That's puncture.
Well, no, because like it's just like you
every
can't
morning.
hold a 200-pound person. Like you just put it down. Yeah, I know.
You're bleeding every morning, man.
It'll be a short life.
You could fight a mini horse. Like Rob.
I don't know, man.
Did you
You're about to wake
ever,
up
did you ever
that
watch
shit
Robin?
backs
Did
up
you ever
to
watch
you.
Robin Big, like Fantasy Factory, all that?
I did.
Remember when he got a mini horse? Like mini horse isn't that big, bro. They're like maybe 200 pounds.
150 to 350. That's perfect.
See, but done. Mini horse. Game over.
Okay.
That still doesn't seem fun though.
You just ride that shit till it like runs out of water.
Well, that's breakfast too. It's just like,
I don't want to eat
Okay.
horse.
well, like what are you gonna do with it?
It's not like you're in the middle of the wild.
Yeah, you could eat it. Right?
So, are you gonna put it in your trash can?
No, just feed it to the pigs. They'll eat anything.
You got pigs?
Yeah, where they come from?
Well, it sounds like we're on a farm right now, so I don't know.
Well, anyways, we're on the topic of animals because we wanted to introduce Yared on the podcast. He's one of our coaches here. So just I'll leave it to you. Go ahead and tell us, what brought you to Ironworks, what got you interested in training, and where you're headed.
Where I'm headed?
Like what your goals are.
Oh, my
and all
goals are
that.
my
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Wait, so I mean,
Where I'm headed.
well,
Headed out to the
I
headed
got
out to
a
the training
client
floor to
in
coach
a couple
some
hours.
kids.
No. So training wise, I guess I started playing sports in high school. Mostly just football was my primary sport, and then senior year I kind of blew out and or kind of experimented with other different sports. And then I ended up playing, and one of those sports was rugby, and I kind of just continued that on into college, started playing college. That's how I met you, and how I met Jake, one of the other coaches here. And ever since then, just wanting to get better at my sport is what caused me what generated my interest into training. So again, the better I got at my sport was basically because I was getting stronger every day, so I figured if I learn how to do this properly, it'll translate over real well to the field. After sports kind of ended, training kept going. So and then I guess why I'm here is just I just wanted to find a career in something that I enjoy doing, which is training. So it's like being able to help others kind of figure out how to get stronger, how to do better in their sport, and just overall throughout life is just that's okay for me.
Dig into a little bit like your path to Ironworks, like coming on here and your path through here and like coaching, and then talk some about like your favorite parts of coaching Ironworks, coaching at Ironworks, the athletes, so on and so forth.
Favorite part working with Christian. What you like most about Christian?
Dive in deep. I don't want to talk about this. Dive in deep. Dive in deep into the mind of a yard.
Yeah,
Well, what were you doing before Ironworks? Start there.
so
That's the animal question.
before Ironworks, so I went to college for zoology and degree, and I wanted so I got my degree in zoology. Was looking for a career in that, and it just again with COVID, it was just kind of very limited options, and I wasn't really happy with where I was. So I just kind of wanted to I kind of saw what you were like. We were roommates at the time. Saw what you were doing. Saw that you were just loving what you were doing, and I was just like, I want that. I want it. So I decided, so this kind of brought me into training, and of course, that's how I met Christian through you, and then it kind of blew up since then. It's like you put me onto Conjugate, changed the way I kind of thought about training, and which kind of made me stick around here a little longer, and hung out a little bit more and more, and I eventually became a coach. So. That makes sense? I don't know. If that makes
Yeah, went through the internship and all that.
Internship. I interned here last year.
It was like
February of
2021. 2020, end of 2020.
No, it was last year.
Because that's when I met. I met you in 2020.
You met us like you met me in 2020,
right?
And then kind of started hanging out here in when we first moved into this building, probably,
right?
Which was like November of 2020, and then you started interning like February of 2020. Around there, because Jake and Eric came in to intern January, like end of December, January of 2021. So it was like kind of that same point, and then you started coming in. I mean, Jake and Eric were here 24/7 basically, and you were kind of in and out.
You're doing time with the pigs still.
I was working my previous job as an animal care technician, and then on the side I was immediately drive on up to here, and then start doing my internship and learning how to coach. So it was an interesting several months for that, just trying to balance it all, but super rewarding.
I think that's how you know you're a good coach, though, is because you make the sacrifice to become a coach. Like, I think a lot of coaches, and especially in the private world, they don't understand the sacrifice that goes into like being a successful coach. Of like, I have 0 athletes right now, and I have to somehow get them all, and all that stuff, and be able to learn everything and take it into like pay for all the courses. First of all, no one's going to pay for them for you, type of thing. So, how was the process of taking the certification exam?
It was. I mean, it wasn't terrible. It was definitely a challenge. Luckily, with zoology, a lot of at least the biological side of the certification exam coincided pretty well. So I kind of came in knowing enough to get myself through, and my past experiences and training really kind of helped build my foundation. But then it really kind of got serious around that summertime, around May. I took my test in August, and so it's like that 3 months is like I really had to hunker down and kind of really learn the specificity of training, and just so this one thing I really struggle with even till today is just I know how to train myself. It's like I intuitively I can pick just whichever exercise to do and kind of make a program out of it. And those 3 months have been really me trying to look at other athletes and trying to apply the basic principles of strength training to people outside of myself. And I think that's what was the hardest part.
That makes sense. I mean, I think when it comes down to like the certification stuff too, and like as you were interning, you started to learn conjugate too. So like having to like decipher between what the CSCS book says and what we know from a conjugate side of things, I feel like there's a lot of similarities, but there's a lot of differences too.
Right.
So when you get into that test, you start kind of reading some of those questions. I'm sure your brain goes, well, this is the way we should be doing it, but this is how the book wants it. Which way's the right answer? And you start getting confused. So I think it's sick that you were able to come in and then from a zoology degree and then start applying anatomy and biology to that, and then kind of start diving down the path of conjugate, and then separate away from conjugate to learn NSCA, CSCS shit, and then get back into how we train things here.
It's kind of crazy route when you explain it. Yeah, no.
I mean, it is. It's like if you think about it like in depth, it's kind of wild in terms of like all the different like tools you could use to get to the same end goal, whether it's one way or the other. There's definitely a lot more efficient ways to get to an end goal, which obviously we believe is the conjugate method. But
that's like what coaching is figuring out like what your philosophy is and being able to absorb and understand all the different tools that we have, whether it be conjugate or CSCS or just whatever training principle it is, and being able to apply them in your own, as like one of our friends put it, flavor, right? Like your own flavor of coaching, your own specific type of genre or whatever. So I know it's only like your first year, but do you feel like you've been able to start finding your own like flavor of coaching and way of training, or are you still kind of,
Yeah, so it's like
picking up on it? How do you feel?
It's
How
a blend.
confident are you?
It's a blend. So it's like I definitely am finding what I like and what I don't like in training, and it's like it's a melding of my formative years of training and kind of basic principles like the 4x6s, 5x5s, kind of old school type of strength and hypertrophy training mixed in with the newer kind of conjugate material, just like max effort. The idea of max effort and dynamic effort. So it's just almost like, I wouldn't say cherry picking, but it's just like trying to take what I like and what's worked for me and what worked for friends I've trained or athletes I've trained and sticking with it. And just
that is the conjugate method, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Picking and choosing things and pulling together to make a program. Think of like obviously there's the West Side method.
Right.
R.I.P. Louis Simmons. We didn't even talk about that yet. But
that's
anyhow, like nobody truly knows the West Side conjugate method except for Louis. Like I feel like in Jason's Gusick has said that to us numerous times. Like Louis is the only guy that knows what really that is. Everybody else just takes bits and pieces of it and turns into what we all believe is the way to do it, or one of the ways to do it. And so like you saying like, oh, pick and choose, like you pull this into this, you pull this into this, like that's how like the conjugate method really is. Like it's different forms of training pulled into one. I mean, probably my form of like how I train the conjugate method is a little bit different than Josh trains the conjugate method, which is different from Jake, different from you.
Yeah.
Like when all four of us are different from Jason, or different from Louie, or different from Matt Winning, like all these different guys. So like everybody takes bits and pieces of it, but it all gets us hopefully to the same angle.
So it's
which
kind
is
of
a sick
crazy.
thing.
Like, yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like, it's so many avenues to take it, but just it all boils down to still falling under the umbrella of conjugate,
Yeah.
which is like, again, it's super cool. It's like all these methods, like all these methods work. Like, it's people will get stronger. Just be able to kind of find your own route. Like, you're able to find your own route and see what like works for you best.
Yeah.
So it's like there's a certain freedom with it. I think it's.
And I think of it as like a way to organize everything. It's like more of like a template. Like, okay, you have all these ways of like to get faster. Oh, here's a dynamic effort day for that. Or like, here's how to get stronger. Put all that stuff there, and you can just helps insert everything. I think.
No,
Yeah,
that's for sure.
No, absolutely. It's one of those things where I don't think there's really a wrong way to go about it, as long as you understand your why behind the reason of what you're doing certain things, the way you program things, and you get to a successful end goal. I think every single way that you can compile a day together is the right way to do it. It's just a matter, as long as you're not like, I don't know why I'm doing this, and then you probably want to start wondering why the hell you're even.
Yeah, and there are rules that
doing
are
that
there are rules of training and rules of recovery that are outside of conjugate that you still have to follow.
Yeah.
So I mean,
So
just the way I think.
you definitely have to have a strong understanding of like the world of sports performance, strength training, powerlifting, to kind of combine it all together to be what it is that we do.
To make it effective. It's like, and funny enough, I think I don't know if you remembered it, but you mentioned it in one of our meetings like months ago, and so that's kind of helped me figure out like how to prep for my exam while still maintaining that conjugate. It's just tools in the tool belt. That's all it is. It's just like, that's at least how I try to approach it. It's just, you might you won't have to stick with everything 100%, like just like linear periodization. It's super, like it's effective, yes, but it's like, do you need to train your athlete on like a 6-week block before it? Not necessarily. It's like, which is basically what I did, but it took me a while to kind of get out of that and learn. It's just like, oh, you can pick up and put down whatever tool work for you at that time, depending on what that need is.
And you can even do block periodization within conjugate.
Yeah.
I mean,
There was 2 summers ago, I read the book of methods and got really confused. But what I was doing was still working. I was doing 3-week cycles on max efforts. So I'd do like, we're squatting this for 3 weeks on max effort day.
a lot of people do that, I think, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. And then our dynamic day was the same thing, 3-week cycle, different movement than the max effort day. And then I was like, wait, I need to be rotating this every week on max effort day. So we switched back to that, and like both ways worked.
Yeah.
It's just a matter, like the only person that was throwing a fit was Isaac Siefkin.
Well, it's going to depend on the athlete, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, some like especially newer athletes, you need 3 weeks out of movement to be able to like get a good
Yeah.
go at it.
And I think the cool thing about like the way we do it, at least, is no matter what you rotate, you're still getting some variation of that movement for 3 weeks. Like we just squatted for 3 weeks and deadlifted for 3 weeks, just different variations.
We have a strong deadlift every single week, right?
Yeah.
Right. No, I'll take it out of you.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyhow, R.I.P. Louis Simmons.
Yeah, that's that.
It was a big surprise. I mean, we didn't really talk about this when we opened it. I kind of planned on actually like saying this at the beginning of the podcast for the day, but it kind of slipped my mind. But I definitely have to say it's been talked about a lot on social media and everywhere. I don't think the world of strength training maybe would be the same right now if it wasn't for Louis kind of formulating Westside and then giving that to all the athletes that he trained that now spread out to so many different athletes and worlds and avenues to kind of see what's going on with it. I mean, almost everywhere you look, at least the high-level strength world, there's still a lot of people that are doing unnecessary bullshit around, but there's definitely a lot of reasons why everybody follows what Louis formulated at Westside and how the conjugate method happened. So,
And if they don't follow it, I feel like he influenced people and so many ways, whether or not they agreed with him or not. Like, and he was so like willing to give all of what he knew,
Yeah.
because he was just trying to learn so much, and he would just like tell everyone, coach everyone up.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool. I just liked watching and hearing about how like genuine of a guy he was, and he wasn't like, he wasn't doing wrong in any way. It seemed like he was just trying to help.
It seems like, at least from a lot of like people I've talked about, he kind of is like a hard shell, soft inside.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like from the outside looking in, you're like, oh fuck, Westside's like hardcore, like nobody wants to fuck with them. But then you get into it, it's just like everybody's so like giving.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody that's trained there, like you look at like Dave Tate's Instagram, what he's done with Elite FTS, it's all about giving back and like articles, and like their podcast is sick. Westside's the same way with Louis. Then you look at Gus, and he's doing the same thing with Conjugate Tactical, and Matt Wenning constantly posting different shit on Instagram. I mean, I can't say I have ever been on Matt Wenning's website or anything like that, but you just look at the wealth of knowledge that has come from, I guess, from like the root of like the coaching tree of Westside. If you want to look at it like that, like Louis being like the father of it all in a way. Like I said that yesterday. It's like now we have all of his Louis' kids, like doing all this different stuff now, and how they're going to kind of keep the legend going. I guess if you want to look at it like that, it's kind of sick to see it. And then like, we're so, I guess in ways of like the world of it, like we're so minimal at Ironworks in terms of like I feel like we're like 30 coaching trees down off of like what it is, because now we've started to kind of like mold ourselves into I would say mold's not the right word, but like ingrain ourselves into that coaching tree now, knowing like Gus and like all of the other people that we know that have fallen now underneath this coaching tree. So I think it's just cool what Louis did, and how he approached the world of it, and the history of what went on there for the last how many years? Fucking 40 years.
Yeah, something like that.
Something crazy like that. It had to be the 80s, late 70s, early 80s, I think. But
I don't remember at all.
But yeah.
But the board's not going to change now, which is cool.
Yeah, the board's locked in, so if you're up there, you're like locked in. Our board can still change shit now.
Our board needs to change.
Yeah.
We need some big lifters. We need some heavier people here,
We need some big boys.
Well, yeah, nobody's above the 240 class except for like 4 people, and I'm on that because we don't have enough people to fill it. Like, I don't even want to be on the board. But
They'll come.
no, they will. So
I think as soon as we get kilo plates, we'll get a few people in there.
yeah, kilo plates are expensive.
I know they're so expensive.
I don't understand what the point is. Like, why?
I don't know why.
What's the point between pound and kilo? It's literally the same weight. You just put a different fucking writing on the outside. Like, what's the point of it having to be a whole different like price?
Oh, price?
Like,
Are you saying the price points? Like
price
think
points,
they're skinny.
kilo plates are literally like $20 to $30 more expensive than like a
I didn't
pound
know
plate.
that.
Like the skinny ones, though, maybe it's because of how they're made.
Like
Maybe.
the calibrated.
Like the type of metal they have to use that's heavy enough.
Maybe.
I literally have no idea.
I don't know, because I mean, you go out there and like we have thick 45s and we have thin 45s, and they're all basically the same thing.
Yeah, I know.
So I mean, we look at our bumper plates. We have thick rogue guys, and we have like the little thin
Oh, they're saying?
eco plates. They're literally the same.
Yeah.
Like they don't. The price isn't
It's probably just because of the kilos, though.
probably. I mean, the price point on those was different because, like the thicker, hard, denser ones, the rogue name and all that is like embroidered's not the right word. They're like pressed into the plate, whereas the echo ones or the eco, whatever the fuck they're called,
It's right, like
it's like screen printed on.
for that craftsmanship. That's
Yeah, it's like I don't really give a shit if it's screen printed or like pressed in. It doesn't matter.
So if you ever wears off, too, it's just a...
It's just a plate. Like,
Yeah.
everybody knows it's 45. Like,
Yeah,
go
exactly.
grab a plate. But yeah, I mean, good day.
Yeah.
Yard, thanks for joining us on the podcast.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me.
Always. We'll be back with more.
We'll
Always.
get Jake on here soon.
Yeah, we'll get Jake on here. I think we've hopefully finally got our setup figured out.
Yeah, we'll see.
We're probably going to keep
We'll
rotating
find out.
locations. We're going to find out. But,
Hopefully after this,
I think
we
it's
hit
good.
stop and it's there.
yeah.
Changing the location keeps the audience on their toes.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
just,
like
you never know
where
what it's
we're
like.
gonna be.
Hey, next week could be a beach. You never know.
We were talking about that.
We were,
Florida, end of May,
yeah,
company trip.
possibly. I was thinking about that actually. Go seeing it. Go doing it. What is it? It's a speed.
It's a
clinic?
speed clinic, yeah.
It's
So
2 days long. It's a Friday and a Saturday or something like that.
it's kind of like what Conjure Tackle does, yeah. It's like a workout on Friday and then a clinic on Saturday.
Oh, sweet, sick.
Like Les Spellman, Tony Hollow will be there, Joey Garasio,
We need to get a
the speed guys.
company trip up to wherever Gus's gym is.
Chesterton, Indiana.
Thank you. I couldn't remember the state or location.
We should in the summer.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
I will not go out there in the winter.
I will not go any cold places in the winter.
No, it's
Colorado's cold
stupid.
enough for me in the winter. I don't.
Yeah.
I think I feel like we get a fair share of snow.
Yeah. In terms of Iron Wolf stuff, because we always talk about it, Black Cherry pre-workout's out. We only got 50 bottles left in stock online right now.
It hits.
Everybody loves the
hits.
flavor, so go grab a bottle. Joco 10 has a code. Or
Joco
Josh has a
10,
code.
10% off.
Joco 10.
Creatine, we have creatine, that's 10% off too. Protein's
Yeah.
coming, that will also be 10% off. Apparel, is that also 10%?
Yeah, so I didn't even allude to this. We've launched like 5 or 6 different apparel items on our website. So we got 3/4 sleeve shirts. I just got one of those. It's on its way, so hopefully it's here
Hey.
when next podcast I can show it off. But it's like a 3/4 sleeve. We got 2 different designs on that. We got regular T-shirts. We got hoodies. We got women's hoodies.
3/4 sleeve, I haven't even seen a 3/4 sleeve since like 2010.
Baseball-
I know, bro.
baseball
It's like a baseball. I like the 3/4 sleeve. And dude, the reason I thought of it and kind of getting that one rolling is because Matt Wedding has a 3/4 sleeve, and I'm like, that shirt looks sick.
I'm pretty sure that's just a normal one and he's just massive.
He's just,
No, but he said it was
that's the
3/4
roll all the
sleeve.
way up.
And then
Are these on our website?
yeah, they're on
Go to
wolfstuff.com.
ironworksperformance.com?
Well, you can go to ironworksperformance.com and then go to the store thing, and then go to
Ironworks gear?
No, this one's all under Iron Wolf.
Oh, it's all
So
under
this is
Ironworks.
all the gear I'm talking about right now is Iron Wolf gear.
Got you.
In terms of Ironworks stuff, we're gonna start trying to dive down that path with that and try to expand what we're offering from the Ironworks side of things. There's some stuff we got to kind of figure out in terms of like getting it on the website and like what we're going to be offering. Obviously, we want to make sure it's high quality shit. So, because we don't want to have like crappy stuff. I mean, we at one point we were using a company called Teespring, and their stuff was. Hopefully, somebody from Teespring listens to this because your guys' shit sucks. It was great when we first started using them, and then literally we started getting their stuff, and it was like one wash, and all the logos and stuff would like fall off. Like I have 2 shirts that you barely can see an Ironworks logo on them now, and they're just kind of like trashy like workout shirts now for me. But Spreadshirt's cool. That's who we're using now for the Iron Wolf stuff for the time being. Their stuff's solid. We used it for my dad's company, Full Ride, for a long time. I have a bunch of their stuff that still looks brand new. Hopefully their quality is still just as high as it once was. But yeah, so Iron Wolf, if you go on to ironworksperformance.com, if you want to get any of the Iron Wolf gear, supplements, you just go to the store thing and then drop down to Iron Wolf Nutrition. The Ironworks page has gear on it as well. For Ironworks stuff, we've got a couple shirts on there right now, and you can pre-order joggers. They're warm, but like it's almost summertime, so we're probably gonna pull those off the website and start looking at doing some shorts. And then, yeah, Josh mentioned the protein's dropping here, hopefully in like a month. We're still waiting on label approval, so that's just a pain and a half. But yeah, all the codes are good. So I mean, you can use anybody's code that you have, whether it's Josh's or any of the other athletes that have a code. Everything on the Iron Wolf website applies to all of it. And yeah, Blood Orange pre-workout hopefully will be back by May. Black Cherry obviously is here to stay. Yeah.
Creatine.
Oh, and creatine, 5 grams, 100 servings, $33. Pretty solid
logo,
deal.
by the way.
That's
Just
not the
that.
logo. I drew that on. It was really bad. It was like a
It's like
production
this,
bottle.
but,
But yeah. And then in terms of like one shirt we're still working on that I haven't had time to spend time on is the pump cover shirts. Josh and some other guys are super interested in those. I've started wearing 2XLs because I like the baggier feel. I've decided to stop wearing such tight shirts. Working on that. We'll try to get that going. It'll be a small logo on the front, big logo on the back.
Yeah. Send in any ideas or questions.
Yeah. And then for next week's podcast, like
Yeah.
give us some questions because, you know, we always like answering questions. We like doing Q&As. Text them to Josh, text them to me. You can comment on Instagram. You can comment on the YouTube like comment section. But yeah, that's my 10-minute spiel on all the shit we have going on. So, you guys got anything? Cool.
Thank you, Yared.
Well,
Appreciate it.
episode 7, completion. Goodbye. Have a great weekend. See ya.
What are we doing?
Episode 7.
Set 7. 7.